All right. Hello, everyone. Oh, you know what? I need to go over here real quick and share it to the group. Give me 1 second, everyone. Where did it go? Like, where am I? Um, and, come on. All right. Let's see. Is it on? Is it on? It says. Okay, I'll share this and hopefully it will work. It doesn't show me on yet, but let's see what happens, y'all. Thank you for being patient. All right. All right, so if I do that and I hit watch live, does it come on? All right, you hear me. All right, so if I do that and I hit watch live, go off. Does it come on? All right. Oh, that's annoying. All right. Hopefully this made sense. Hopefully I got it all shared to the right places and everyone can see it. So welcome. Thank you so much, Nicole, for joining us. Just so you guys understand what's going on, Nicole is joining on today to kind of give her experiences about being in the group coaching program that we are currently launching. So hey Tama, if you don't know, I just opened the doors this week to my 6-month group coaching program. It is a mix of group. You're able to get a hold of me through DMs. You're able to get one-on-one calls each month. We have trainings. We have like one-on-one coachings and group coaching. It's just all sorts of different things. So you can get the support that you need, right? And so Nicole is one of several mamas that have been a part of it for the last 4 or 5 months, something like that. And she is sharing her experience with us today. Thank you, Nicole.
Hi.
So Nicole, tell us a little bit about your family first.
Well, I have a husband and two 4-year-old twins and a 2-year-old, all boys.
And they are super adorable.
Oh, thank you.
um, so just as you know, like right now we're like by ourselves. Like my kid is occupied and your kids I think are napping, right?
Nope.
This
They're
is
watching.
not normal.
They're watching Cat in the Hat.
um, so if you saw Alex's video last night, we had like all had our kids with us. That actually ends up happening more than anything. And I know one of the things that a lot of people often have questions about is like, but I'll have my kids with me and da, da, da. No problem. We're used to it, right? Like
Mhm.
we have like got a routine down when it comes to our kids being on the call.
Yep.
So, first question I want to ask you, Nicole, is what was life like before working with me and what is it like now?
Well, I actually last night I went back through our messages like from when we first started talking, and like I can tell in the messages like it was a lot more like unsure. Like I was very unsure, like, is this gentle parenting? Is it not? Like what is it? Like, there was more yelling, more other bad behaviors. On my part. And now, like, I feel like everything is calmer. Certainly not perfect. Lots more to do, lots more work to do, but there's a noticeable difference. Um, even like in the messages, like I can tell, like it's more specific problems now. Before it was giant like issues. Now it's, hey, what do I do about this?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I feel like you've gone at the beginning, it was like, and now it's just like, well, I'm okay with the kids.
Yeah.
And we talk a lot, a lot about a lot more than just kids, even, right? Like I'm a parenting coach, but a lot of this also goes into our spouses, right? And um, not just you, all of the women in the group at some point in time ask about how to handle things with their spouses. And I find that quite interesting. Sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe I should be a family coach, but I focus more on the parenting, and so we do that. But yeah, what is your favorite part of working with me?
I think honestly, it's just the connection. Like I like the friendship and the connection and knowing that somebody else is out there who's kind of going through and doing the same things that I am. And like, specifically with us, like our kids are kind of the same age. So it is a lot of the same stuff, but you parent the same way that I do. And I feel like it's nice to have somebody who has my back, and who knows, like, hey, all right, my kid's screaming, okay, my kid did that the other day, like this is what I did. And I think that's my favorite part.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. Go cry. So just so you guys know, like these are not like I have questions, but I don't know their answers ahead of time, so definitely emotional for me. Why did you decide to work with me? Especially because I know you're a part of some really big groups as well. What made you decide to work with me specifically?
I decided to work with you because the very first time that I posted in the one group, I posted actually I had spanked my child, and everybody in the group was like, no, you didn't spank, you hit, that's wrong. They all jumped all over me. Like it made me feel awful. And you messaged me and you were like, what can we do about it? You did it, it happened. What can we do about it? What do you want to make different? And I feel like it was just that acceptance of, yeah, okay, yeah, you made a mistake, but it's just a mistake, you know and it was kind of like, yeah, okay, like, yeah, I did it, I feel guilty, I feel incredibly guilty that I did it, but let's move on and let's fix it. And so I think that's, yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad that that meant something to you. I
Yeah.
don't, you think you're just one in a crowd of voices, and sometimes you just don't realize, the impact you have made in those small moments. So, oh, I'm crying.
that-
Oh, okay. See in my notes here. um, what areas did you find yourself wanting to grow in that led you to working with me?
Honestly, I wanted to grow in my relationship with my kids, and like being that calmer parent. um I wanted to grow in myself, and I want to grow with my spouse. um i I wanted to change behaviors like yelling, um and stuff, and specifically like what to do in the moment. And I still feel like I struggle with that a little bit, but I feel like I have more tools now,
Yeah,
that I can pull from.
yeah, and it's always a work in progress. I mean,
Yeah.
we talk about that often, right? And it's about making those little changes and they grow upon each other.
Right.
Awesome, thank you. Um, how has your mindset changed in your time working with me?
Actually, like I thought about this one a lot, and I don't think that my mindset has changed a lot, but that the things that I thought before are more cemented. Like I know that gentle parenting is the right way for my family. I know that, I don't want to repeat mistakes from, generations past. um and like I am 100% sure of it now. Like before, it was kind of like, well, okay, well, gentle parenting's not, it's working, but it's not working as quickly as I wanted it to be. Maybe I should put them in timeout. Maybe I should, do the punitive kind of way of raising children, and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And I would have moments where I would think like maybe that was the best way to go. And now I know that it's not, like I've seen the benefit of gentle parenting, and that's the way that I want them to be raised. And that's the way that I want to be. I don't want to feel angry all the time like that.
Right? Like sometimes when I hear like my in-laws, I'm just like, man, parenting must have just been miserable for you.
Yeah.
Like constant fighting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
Oh, I feel
Yep.
that. And Tamara, while you're watching, and anybody else that might be watching, if you have questions for Nicole, go ahead and put them in the comments, and hopefully it will show up here and I can ask them. All right. So, what would you say to the parent who is currently in the position that you were in when you first started?
I would say to get in this group. It changed everything. It gave me some time, not necessarily to myself, but some time to focus on parenting and on being with just Mary and wonderful people. And like it makes a huge difference. um I would say, like, don't hesitate, like just do it and you won't regret it.
Oh, thank you. And then what do you love most? I think we might have touched on this, but what do you love most about parenting now?
I just love my kids, like the giggles and like watching them grow, and the calmness that's in my house. And by calmness, I don't mean that I have a calm house, because I do not. But I mean that not it's not necessarily filled with parenting tension. Like, I know that fights are going to happen. They're 2 and 4. So, like, I know that fights are going to happen. I know that things are going to come up, but I also know how to handle it.
And so this is a question that just came to my head, and so you don't know about it yet. But was there like a specific problem or conversation that we had that you just like made the biggest difference for you?
Um, well, I mean, that first one was really big, about the spanking and stuff. And that one was really big. And I think, like, honestly, the ones that we talk about where, like, with the husband, that those are big, because while we might not come up with all the answers, like, it's nice to know that somebody has my back there too. Those make a huge difference, because I struggle with it. And I know that, like, just to know that somebody else is knowing about it and can give maybe a suggestion or two, like those make a really big difference in my heart. Um, yeah, a really big difference.
Thank you. Do you ever feel um do you ever feel judged, or do you ever feel like if you don't take my suggestion that I'll be upset in any way?
No, no. I can't even picture you mad or upset. Like, I know you do, but I can't even picture it. Like,
Not with you guys.
no.
Here's one more. In our calls, what does it feel like in our calls? Like in our group calls?
It feels like a group of women getting together and hanging out. Like, if we didn't have our kids all hanging around us, we probably could have some wine or, coffee or whatever. And just friends hanging out. Like, that's, it doesn't feel any different when I hang out with you guys versus when I hang out with my, like, in-person friends.
Yeah. I think so too. There's a to be fair, Mary has to be really careful about like bringing us back in sometimes.
Well, that's
But I think we need that often too, right?
yeah,
Like that is part of it. Like we need that community. That's why I started calling it a village, because I really feel like that's what we've become
yeah.
is that village for each other, that support for each other. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with everyone?
I truthfully, I just think that like I would like to share that I feel like this program is important because we are raising the future, and it sounds cheesy, and it sounds cheesy when I say it, but it's true. You know, we are raising, in essence, we're raising our future grandkids, you know, our future politicians and leaders. And if we can teach our kids the calmer way of being, then maybe we can make the world a better place by proxy. And I feel like this program, and Mary, I feel like we're doing it, you know, like it's a big deal.
That's my goal. That's been my goal for like since the beginning. And that's what I've always thought too is like, man, we're changing, and especially because I work with the moms specifically, right? Like, so I'm changing the moms, which changes the family, which changes the community, which changes the country, which changes the world, right? Like, I feel like it's such a ripple effect, and we're just, we see only this one spot, but really the work that we're doing now is literally changing generations. So I love that you said that. Thank you. I'm gonna go and like fix my makeup now. Did not put the waterproof mascara on. But thank you so much for doing this, Nicole, and taking some of your self-care time out of your day to do this for me. Just all the loves. Thank you so much, guys. And then again, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. Nicole's in the group. Um, and we will be happy to answer any questions that you have. Tamara says, thanks, Nicole. And I will put the link to sign up in the comments below after this as well. Thank you, everyone. Bye.